When I was younger, I wish I had the same mentor, the same coach that would teach me these life skills on and off the court.
My name is Mervyn Rock Rosa. My coaching style. At a certain point when I first started, I was very aggressive and started to change over time. I was always an X and O's kind of guy from the very beginning, which I learned from my brother Tony Rosa. And but I always had this aggressiveness, this want to be up in your face defensively, want to pressure the ball, want to see how you can commit mistakes so that we can gain more possessions. And in the game of basketball, a lot of it is about possessions. It motivates me to be a leader in the community in New York City and provide service in the community. Stem back from when my parents would take us down to Central Park and play baseball. So our first passion was actually baseball, not basketball. And my parents would get us on an M10 bus down 8th Avenue from 141st Street down to 103rd Street, I think it was, by the Sand Park. And we would enter the park there. And my father would bring his music. My mother would make food for everyone. One of the players played the saxophone. My father brought his drums, his radio, and it was like a party every Saturday, spring and summer. And my mom and dad laid that foundation for us. At some point, my brother Tony picked up the basketball, was very good at it, and decided he wanted to run a program in the community. So at the age of 17, he started a program for me in Harlem called the Mustangs. I was 10 years old. And from there, I started to develop the passion, not for playing, just for playing, but for coaching as well. And I started to help Tony out and then continued to do my own thing. Started a girls program, the Lady Mustangs. And then I connected with my friend, Apache, may rest in peace. He started the Exodus program, and it was we had a beautiful relationship. We worked hard together, and then I got with another program, which I was at for 13 years. But a lot of my, wanting to be a leader in the community came from that foundation. What is the ideal coach to me? I've thought about this a lot over the years. I always felt the ideal coach was someone who their task was to bring the best out of you. Not necessarily thinking how I'm going to dictate the teachings or the way this child learns, but being able to challenge them to think for themselves. Sometimes it's bringing them out of a shell that they're stuck in for one reason or another. But really, the coach that can actually listen to his players, start to try to understand their players off the court, especially, not just on the court. What are some of the challenges I've had as a coach? And I'll go back to the very beginning. One of the biggest challenges I had was knowing that I was a part of, knowing that I was accepted in the coaching world. I started as a young coach. I was 16 years old, and one of the things is when you're coaching kids who are just 3 years younger than you, it can be a huge challenge. But at the same time, if you love what you do, I think those things can conquer certain challenges with that. So, one of the things was being accepted, fitting in. That was kind of one of the bigger challenges. Some of my favorite memories as a coach, I'm gonna go back to when my son, Chef, was 4 years old. And he played in his first regulation tournament game, and his teammates were 9 and 10 year olds, guys who were really good. Bernard Wheeler, Paul Little, Randy King. These kids were good. They were 9 and 10 years old. Kevin was just a 4-year-old. So we played in Stone Gym right next to Riverside Church. They lowered the baskets, and I put him on the team. My brother Tony puts him on the team. He's watching, he's learning, and to see him make his first basket on those lower baskets, it was one of the best things that had ever happened. It was beautiful to see. Another great memory was watching my daughter make her first basket down at Dunleavy Millbank, playing with boys at a young age as well. Lower baskets, and seeing her, make her first basket was a great memory. But coming away from the family, I coached at Fieldston for 5 years, the ethical coach at Fieldston School. And one of my greatest memories there was watching a young lady, Jacqueline Schoninger, who I coached in travel ball, score her 1,000th point at Fieldston. And I believe she was only the second young lady to do so at the school. So that was another great moment. And I'll probably say one of the biggest moments was coaching in the Entertainers Basketball Classic with my brother Tony. And we had Adrian Walton, Allie Moore Evans, Lenny Cook, Charles Jones, and Antoine Doby, and one of my favorites of all time, Lamont Jones, Charles's older brother, who everybody thought was his younger brother. Exceptional point guard. But on the final play of the game, where we were trailing by 1, LJ makes a move, and for some reason, the help defender comes up too high. LJ spots Lenny Cook, hits him down low. Lenny finishes the play, and we win the championship in the Entertainment Basketball Classic. It was such a great feeling. The environment, it being in Harlem where we grew up, and most importantly, being able to share something special with a bunch of guys who were young and hungry, and seeing my brother being so elated with the victory, it was just one of the best memories I've ever had. I've definitely had the opportunity to coach a lot of really good players over the years. I've been coaching for 32 years now, and I've come across a lot of talented players. But I've coached boys, I've coached girls, I've coached men and women. So you're asking me for my top 5 of all time. If I go on the girls' side of the ones that I coached, and no disrespect to anyone else, but my top 5 would have to start with Tanisha McCroskey from Harlem, and Renika Reza. Those would be my first 2. They're the reason that I actually started coaching girls basketball, and why I started the Lady Mustangs years ago. Shannon Bobbitt would be 3. Kia Vaughn, New York Liberty, she would be 4. And we're talking top 5. I would probably say Kai Gillespie, who is a senior at Florida State right now and the second-team preseason All-American. If we're talking about boys, I would probably go, I'm gonna go back. Marquis Pilgrim, Drew Hamilton out of Harlem, he was like my little brother. Marquis was the best thing I had ever saw as a 9-year-old. He was just an amazing talent. Steve McDowell. Steve McDowell was a young man who I met. He was 10 years old at the time. He grew up down the block from me. His cousin Jimmy Turpin actually played for me and was older than him, and came to me and said, "My little cousin want to play ball." I said, "This is your little cousin?" He was his size, and but he was only 9 or 10 at the time, and we would go to the park almost every day and just work on his game. And eventually he ended up going to LaSalle High School, LaSalle Academy, where he played with Shamgar Wells, one of my other favorites. God Shamgar to the world. Steve went on to play at Manhattan College. God Shamgar. I can't say enough about what he's been able to do for the culture, what he's doing at Puma right now. God bless his every step. I'm gonna say one of the guys I enjoyed coaching the most ever was my son, Chef. Amazing talent. Was always overweight, and being that way, he amazed me. He amazed me with what he was able to do on the court. He amazed me with many things that he did. May he continue to rest in peace. And I would say this is tough. I've coached a lot of guys, and Kaheem Allen was special. We called him Boo Allen. Chucky Campbell, special. He's still doing things in the basketball world. Shout out to him. Tony Resto. Tony Resto was a monster. Called him Roughhouse Resto. You know, it's so hard to narrow it down to 5. Lamont Jones, Charles Jones. This is not easy. But you know, it's simply been such a pleasure to be blessed with the opportunity to coach talents like this. You know, be involved with some of these talents when they were very young and help groom them and bring the best out of them. And then coach some of the guys and girls who brought those abilities to the table when I first met them, and just pushing them to continue to work hard and get better at their craft. But, you know, calling out a top 5 is pretty tough. It's not easy, as you can see. There's so many more that I can mention. Ashley Rubalo-Klein, I would put her on any player on the other team and tell her, listen, I don't want her to touch the ball. And that's what happened. There were so many over the years, so it's really, really hard to narrow it down. But I think I did my best with this one. Which player I wish I had the chance to coach and why? I'm gonna stick to the girls' side on this one. Monique Coca. Monique Coca was one of the most talented players I'd ever seen. Shout out to Bronx. She played for my guy over at the Boys and Girls Club on Hoe Avenue in Bronx. I watched Monique Coca amongst the very talented pool of girls in the Slam Camp Classic, win the championship 2 straight years. And Monique was the one everyone zoned in on, and it didn't matter. Monique was about 6'1". She ended up going to Old Dominion University. And though I never got to coach her, to me, she was absolutely one of the most special talents that ever came out of New York City. In my top 5 on the girls' side, along with Nikki McCrimmon, who played with the Sparks at a certain point. But Monique Coca to me was an exceptional talent, and I feel like I was blessed some years later with Kaya Gillespie, who was actually from Connecticut, who reminded me very much of Monique Coca. You know, shout out to you, Kaya. And Monique Coca, again, like, she was really the most special talent to me that I had seen out there, and that I never got the opportunity to coach. Some inspiring words for the youth. I would say you find your passion. Find your passion and work hard towards it. And you know, try your best to never say I can't, because you can. You know, there are a lot of people out here who, when they're not doing as well as you are, they will try to find a way to distract you from what it is that you're actually trying to accomplish. And you won't really get that from people who are actually doing well. You know, those are the people who will continue to try to push you, motivate you, as you continue to, you know, find your passion and grab a hold of it. You know, I would tell you, you know, you have to work hard. You know, there's no way around it. You know, there's no way around it. You have to work hard. You have to give it your best shot. You never want to look in the mirror and say, I didn't work hard enough. I didn't give it enough to the point where I'm ready to walk away from it because it didn't work out. You know, sometimes things don't work out and you just gotta take another approach to it, you know, but never stop pursuing that passion. You never know what's on the other side of that door. You never know who's gonna open that door for you. It could be the person you least expect, but as you continue to work hard and you do it with the right passion, keep God first. That's always been a huge thing for me, making sure that no matter what, He remains first, and everything else seems to fall into place as you continue to work hard. So with the youth, it's finding that passion, not giving up, continue to work towards your goals. For those inspiring coaches, those young coaches out there, you're going to face a lot of challenges. And just because you see a bunch of other coaches out here who are doing it, doesn't mean that there's no space for you. You need to find your space, and you need to step in there. You need to take in as much knowledge as you can. Always be a student of the game first, and continue to be a student of the game as you continue to go on. But never stop being a student of the game, because that's what's going to continue to allow you to grow in that profession.